Okay, now chapter 24, we need to know part of it, not all of it, just a small part of it. And it's opening. Okay, so this is chapter 24. What do we need to know in chapter 24? The first thing is some definitions. Genetic, when we say genetic, we mean studying the inheritance of characteristics. Like this characteristic, the color of the eye, the color of the hair, whatever the characteristic is, moving, inherited from generation to generation to generation. Studying that inheritance is called genetic. Genome is the DNA sequence that encodes to specific protein. So we call that genome. I will discuss further what's the DNA and the chromosomes and all that stuff. But for now, the genes, I'm sorry, not genome. The gene is a sequence on the DNA that code for one protein. So the DNA is a long strand that contain gene after gene after gene after gene. Each one of those genes will encode for one protein. You have thousands of those genes encoding for thousands of proteins. Now, if you put all the genes together, everything, a complete set of all genetic instructions inside the cells, we call that genome. And the genome is the language that's written on the DNA, and it goes like a sequence of basis nucleotides that are called A, G, C, T, which is adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Those four in different. You put the A for this, then CG, GC, T, TAC, and so on. Different sequences, and that will make the different languages to make different proteins. So genome is the complete set. Now it's interesting to tell you, or interesting to know, that humans, all people on Earth, all these billions of people, we share more than 99.9% of the DNA. Our DNA, 99.9% is the same, exactly the same, no difference. So all the huge differences that you see it between people with different color and different shape and different body weight and body build and all that stuff, all of this is coming from less than 0.1%. More than 99 is the same. Now, if you look at the DNA itself, you will see these genes that encode for proteins. Only the parts that encode for proteins are called exomes, and this is about 2%. The rest is just for supporting the genes. So if you look at this, this is the cell right here, and the blue here, the light blue, is the nucleus. In the nucleus, you have the chromosomes. Look at this. These are two sister chromatids, 1, 2. Together, we call it chromosome. What's a chromosome? The chromosome is DNA folded around a protein that's called histone. You see this purple spherical structure here? This is a protein called histone, and the DNA is circled around it. If it's wrapped around it, circled around. If you unwrap it, or if you uncircle it, or unfold it, you will see the DNA itself, which is this. The DNA is double strand. Here is one strand, and here the other one. Double strand of these ATCG, of these nucleotides, two strands, and the two strands are paired together. And we call that the base pairing. There are bases here and bases here, which is the ATCG. They come together. The A come with the T, the C come with the G, and so on. They come together so that the two strands stay together. Um, some genetic issues can happen during that expressing these genes that I talked about, something like cystic fibrosis, which is a genetic disorder that will result in defective chloride channel, ion channels. There are ion channels in the cells, which are like here. Ion channels are proteins, and this protein is encoded by a gene. Remember, the gene is a code for one protein. So if this gene is bad for some reason, this protein that's formed from that gene is bad. So the ion channels now become defective. And this will result in the secretions of this person will be affected, and we will have less secretions in different organs. And this will lead to other issues that's not our focus for now. The mode of inheritance, you can predict, like if I give you a parent or a parent and grandparents, you can predict what's going to happen or how the inheritance is going to happen to the next generation and next generation, which we call it the probabilities. You can predict by knowing the characteristics, and you can predict the mode of inheritance. So the pattern in which these genes are transmitted from generation to generation or within the families is called the mode of transmission. Now, if I take one cell and look inside the nucleus, remember the nucleus contains chromosomes, and we talked about this. How many chromosomes? 23. From chromosome 1 until chromosome 22, these are called autosomes. Auto means body. So these are the autochromosomes, the body chromosomes, the chromosomes that are responsible for the whole entire body, but not the sex. The sex chromosomes are pair number 23. So look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going all the way, this is 22. Now look at this, number 23. This is the only pair. Remember, we have 23 pairs, which is 46 altogether. So number 23 is the pair number 23. This is called the sex chromosome. So from 1 to 22 is autosomes, and number 23 alone, which is pair. This is the sex chromosomes. If this is what we're studying here, is a male, you will see XY. If this is a female, it will be XX. Now, digging more into the genes, how they are paired, remember that each one of those, like chromosome number 1, there are 2 copies. Chromosome number 2, there are 2 copies. Those 2 copies, like chromosome number 1, right and left, let's say it this way. Chromosome number 1, right, and chromosome number